Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Multiversus video. Today's video, we're going over the 1.02 patch notes that just came out today, June 13th, 2024. So we're just going to go down the list like we did in the previous patch notes video, and I'll go over the changes and my thoughts on them. So let's just go ahead and get started. So up top, they say that their priorities is fixing the Xbox performance issues and the desyncing in matches, which are pretty important, so I'm glad that they're, working on that. In addition to that, they want several balancing updates for character abilities, perks, and more. And Iron Giant is completed and he's out of the shop and ready to action. So Iron Giant is back in the game. So if you're an Iron Giant main, hey, you got your character back. So good job. But yeah, that's just like the kind of preface. But let's go into the actual changes. So for starts, for general changes, all characters now incur a 15-frame repeat move lockout on their ground side attack combo, so their jab string. This will prevent individual fighters from alternating ground side attack and dodge to lock enemies in hit stun for extended periods of time. So I'm sure you've seen clips online of people, pretty much getting on either side of a team and then just locking them down with jab strings. This will hopefully fix that issue and that won't be possible anymore, because you could really pin someone down for a long time and build up a lot of damage on them. So I'm glad that it's being fixed. Next, probably the change I'm most excited about here in general, is the camera minimum distance in 1v1s has been increased. So now hopefully, if you both go into the air, you can actually see the platforms below you. But yeah, that's a good change. That is a good change. I'm really excited to get in there and test that out. And then all available profile icons, banners, badges, ringouts, and announcer packs will appear in the account cosmetics section of the fighters tab. Previously, only some unowned cosmetics were shown. So now everything, or most of the things in the game, even if you don't own them, should show up there, so you can see what you can unlock, or try to see what you want to buy, or whatever. So that's a good general change. And then bug fixes. These are actually important, so I'm going to go over this. Addressed issues impacting performance on Xbox Series X and S. Fixed 2 issues causing matches to desync, which is good. I don't believe all the issues causing the desync are fixed, but hey, they're working on it and they got 2 of the issues done. So hopefully we should see a drop in desync matches. And then fix an issue where parrying an attack would not always put the victim into parry stun. That's a big one. If I get a parry, they better be parry stunned. So that's good that they fixed it. Next, we have perks. Only one perk got a change this time, or got some love or changes. Airwalker, now limited to 1 use per airtime. So basically, Airwalker, if anyone didn't know, while you're in air, if you do a parry, it creates a platform below you and it takes half your dodge meter. So that's what Airwalker does. So you can create a platform in air, but it takes down half your dodge meter. And it looks like now you can only use it 1 time per airtime, which is good. Fix an issue where attempting to spawn a platform would not consume an air evade. That's good as well. It should, the perk should properly work. And then fix an issue where LeBron could not spawn a platform when he did not have a basketball. That's also just a good fix, because once again, the perks should work how they are supposed to work. Next, we have the character changes, which there's actually not too many character changes. I know I'm scrolling down this and there's just a lot, but a lot of these are for like a couple select characters. But let's just go ahead and start off at the top. Banana Guard's ground side special active hitbox window reduced by 2 frames. So now his ground side special, the little spear charge, has 2 less active frames. So just be careful. Black Adam got some nerfs. His ground side attack 1, the jump branch window delayed 6 frames, and his ground side attack 2, jump branch window delayed 8 frames. So now for the ground side attack 1 and 2, your jump window is delayed now, so some combos might not work, or you might have a harder time pulling them off because you have a smaller window to actually jump after these attacks. So yeah, that's a change. If you play Black Adam, take note of that and test your combos out, make sure everything works all right. Bugs Bunny got a bug fix. Ground down special. Fix an issue where bugs could cancel hit stun by jumping in certain conditions. That's a good fix. Like the key word here is issue. If it's an issue, then it's good that it's fixed. Garnet, all right. Let's see, what did Garnet get? Air ground side special, the cooldown version. Knockdown angle made more vertical. So if you use Garnet, just remember that that move now is more vertical. So you might, kill or KO in situations where you wouldn't have before, like especially if you're more higher up, or if they're a higher percentage, you can just send them straight up. Now Gizmo has been running a racket on tournaments and stuff. He's been pretty good. So Gizmo got a lot of nerfs, as you can see here. Excuse me. So let's just go ahead and go through them. But I want to read what the developers note about them and why they did these changes, because I always like to get into the developers mindset and see what they're changing and why they're changing stuff. Gizmo's maneuverability and size make him incredibly difficult to pin down. His moveset combined with his incredibly strong zoning game made it nearly impossible for some characters to ever get the edge against him. These changes should help bring Gizmo's evasiveness more in line with the cast, so it's easier for other characters to get up close and punish. Alright, so his ground side attack 2. The dodge branch window delayed 10 frames, so you can't just dodge out of it as fast or as soon. And prevents terrain bounce on knockback. Terrain bounce on knockback. Okay, so it doesn't knock back on terrain now. Cool. The air ground neutral attack on whiff branch window delayed 8 frames. And cooldown is no longer refunded on successful fire arrow hits. That's a big one right there. So if you were spamming his fire arrows a lot, your cooldown is no longer refunded when you actually hit. So if you miss, sure, you get it back, you get another chance sooner. But if you actually hit it, the cooldown is no longer refunded. So that's, especially if you're using him more as a zoning character, that's something you should really pay attention to. The ground side special, the car HP reduced to 8 from 10. The car explosion hitbox size was reduced by 25%, so now the explosion is smaller, so it's going to be harder to hit. The car maximum overheat duration reduced to 1.25 seconds from 2 seconds, and the cooldown increased to 18 seconds from 15 seconds. So basically for his car, you're going to get it 3 seconds slower, it has less HP, and the explosion size is reduced by a quarter. So yeah, if you use his car a lot, which is one of his more fun and his cooler moves, so I actually quite enjoy it, take note of those things. And then air side special, now always transitions to umbrella float if attack whiffs. Which that's not a nerf, that's just a change. You can tell, like, hold on, I didn't go over the legend. The plus is a buff, the minus is a nerf, the little squiggly is a change, and the star is a bug fix. Alright. And all of these moves are referenced to default controls. So if you change your controls, you might have to think about it a little bit more, but I mean. But yeah, Gizmo got nerfed pretty hard. His car got nerfed, his air ground neutral attack got nerfed, and his ground side attack 2 got nerfed. But I don't think they're really, other than the car ones, these don't seem too bad. You'll definitely have to play around with them. Maybe the cooldown one is on the fire arrows a bit rough. But if you're a Gizmo main, I mean, not much is going to be changing. Just remember all these changes about his car, because his car move did get nerfed quite a bit. Alright, Harley Quinn got some changes, some nerfs, a little bit of buff too. One little buff. Harley's slide and up attack were granting her very easy combos for very little risk. These changes should keep her combo game intact while making slide and up attack feel less like do everything buttons. Good to see. We don't want do everything buttons. We don't want do everything buttons. We want skill, we want combos, we want execution. We do not want 2 buttons to do everything. Alright, so that's good. Ground up attack, the base knockback increased to 1800 from 1663, so quite a big buff actually. Like 137? Is my math correct? I don't know. And the on-hit branch window delayed 10 frames. So if you hit it and you're trying to combo, it's delayed 10 frames. That might feel a little weird because 10 frames is actually quite a bit because it's a 1/6 of a second. So that might feel a little weird. Just go ahead and go into practice mode, practice your combos, make sure everything is good. Then her ground down attack, the startup window before charge increased 4 frames. Startup window after charge increased by 2 frames. So, hold on, let me reread that. Startup window before charge increased 4 frames. Okay. So before the charge, okay, so just the move is slower. The move is a little bit slower. Alrighty. Slide combos and the follow-ups faster. Hit stun reduced significantly to compensate. Alright, so the combos, you can combo faster, but the hit stun is reduced. So you can link stuff a bit faster, but if you miss, or if you don't link stuff correctly, the hit stun is reduced, so they're going to be able to recover faster and counterattack or move out of the way, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. Maximum movement from charge reduced 15%, so now when you actually charge the move and you go attack, you're not going to move as far forward, so that might be a little weird for combos and stuff, especially if like it was like barely making the distance to hit. And the squiggly, good old change, now ignores player collisions during movement. Okay, so it goes through people now. And then the leg hurt box size increased slightly. So the leg hurt box means, so hurt box is you can hit them. Hitbox is they hit you. So the leg hurt box size increased slightly. That means you're going to have an easier time hitting her legs. Or a slightly easier time hitting her legs during the ground down attack. So yeah, she got some nerfs, she got some changes. Her ground up attack, the base knockback increase is pretty good though, actually. But it's going to be a little bit harder to combo into. And her ground down attack is slower. It combos faster, but the hit stun is reduced. The movement distance on it is reduced by 15%. It now ignores player collisions during movement, so now you can just move through people and reposition a bit better. And it's easier to punish because the leg hurt box size is increased. So way to go. That's Harley Quinn. Now, Iron Giant has a whole documentary on him because he's been gone. He's been in the shop. He's been worked on, you know. But let's just get into this. Iron Giant play was dominated by his easy-to-input infinites and a few early kill setups. We're hoping that removing his most egregious setups will make him feel more like the rest of the cast, and we feel good about letting players play with him again. So that's good. They're confident in their changes. That's always a good sign. It's always a good thing to see. And he got nerfed quite a bit. I see a couple buffs in here, though. Well, one. But okay, let's go into this. This is passive. The rage meter gain from ally damage taken reduced to 60% of damage taken from 80. So now when your ally gets hit, it's going to give you less rage, 20% less rage. Rage meter gain from ally ring out reduced to 30% of total meter from 35%. So now when your ally gets rung out, instead of 35% of your rage bar remaining filling, it's 30%. Oh, it's total meter, not remaining. My bad. So yeah, just 5% less on ally ring out for the rage gain. Defensive burst cooldown increased to 29 seconds from 25. So now defensive burst you have the 4-second longer cooldown. Defensive burst knockback made more horizontal. That's really just a change. It's not really a nerf, but just remember that when you use defensive burst, it's going to kill more horizontally than vertically now. And defensive burst knockback reduced. So now the knockback has been reduced. I wish they would have given us numbers so we knew how much. But yeah, so it's going to go, the defensive burst is going to go more horizontal and have less knockback. The ground down attack, knockback angle made more horizontal. Okay, so now that should make it harder to do loops or infinites, or make them impossible maybe, depending on the knockback and the percentage of the enemy. And then the ground side special. Fighters are now immediately released when Iron Giant performs an emote. Fighters are now immediately released when Iron Giant leaves the ground. Okay, good changes. Grab release, knockback angle made more horizontal. So it's going to push them further away, which means it's going to be harder to grab them again. Grab release hit stun reduce. So now they just have less hit stun when you do release them. And the startup window is increased. So now the move starts slower. But the armor is applied earlier. So that's a good little change. You have some trade-offs, you know. The knockback angle is more horizontal. The hit stun is reduced when you release. And you release people when you do emotes or when Iron Giant leaves the ground. So you do have lots of way of like releasing people, or people are getting out of your grab. But hey, the armor is applied earlier. So there you go. The rage mode ground down attack now incurs a reboot. Listen, I do these in one take, okay? That's staying in. Reboot is staying in. Now incurs a repeat move lockout to prevent infinitely trapping enemies, which is good. We don't want infinites. This word is bad right here. Infinite is bad. I'm doing a terrible job of highlighting this, but that's bad. Rage mode air ground up attack cooldown increased to 1.5 seconds from 0.75 seconds. So now the rage mode air ground up attack the cooldown is twice as long, up to 1.5 seconds. So you can't throw that out as much since, you know, the cooldown's longer. But rage mode neutral special fixed an issue where Iron Giant was performing his non-rage neutral special while in rage mode. That's a good bug fix. You want people performing the correct moves and the correct stances. Overall, Iron Giant did get a lot of changes, a lot of nerfs, but hopefully this eliminates his infinites and makes him a bit more fun to play against. I mean, some of these changes do suck, especially a lot of his moves kill or KO horizontally now. And his grab got quite a few changes. But I still think he's going to be pretty good. Not as good, and definitely not as good with the infinites, because infinites, surprisingly, are pretty strong. But yeah, I think he's still going to be good. But we'll see. I'll have to get my hands on him and play as him some. And now we move to my main man, Jason. Ground dash attack now blocks projectiles. So now when you're doing your big body shoulder, it blocks projectiles. So that's actually pretty cool. That's a pretty cool change. You can get in on zoners a lot easier now. Morty got some bug fixes. Fix an issue where firing a grenade lock-on projectile would trigger Morty Snake's cooldown. And fix an issue where Morty could not jump or dodge during his side attack combo. Those are both good fixes, because once again, we want the game working how the game is supposed to work, and those bug fixes help that. Alright, Rain Dog. Ground side attack 1 jump branch window delayed 6 frames, so now you can't jump out of that as soon. You have to jump out of it a little later. That might mess with some combos, just, you know. I say this a lot, but with these changes, especially with the frames, to me, a lot of fighting games is feeling. It's just like my muscle memory, and I just feel the timing of stuff. So these little, even though it's only 6 frames, it could feel a lot different. You might have some trouble with it, so go practice your combos. After every patch, just go into the lab for like 10 minutes, Practice your combos. Just see if everything's working good. Alright? And then we got Shaggy. We have reverted the Shaggy air neutral attack so it can be canceled earlier on hit, but it did not get into this patch. This change will be coming in a patch in the very near future. Okay. So we'll cover that when it's in the patch. And then he got a nerf and a bug fix. Ground side attack 2. Jump branch window delayed 11 frames. I'll have to go test that out quite a bit because that's his second hit in his jab string. And the jump branch window is delayed 11 frames. So I'll definitely have to do some of my own, take a spoon of my own medicine and go practice that. Make sure everything's working good. Make sure my B&Bs are good, And then air ground neutral special. Fix an issue where Shaggy would float away while charging rage under certain conditions. I wish that happened to me. I mean, I would have been a little upset if if it lost me a match or something, but it would have been hilarious to just charge and just whee. But yeah, Shaggy got some good changes. He got nerfed a little bit. I'll have to test that out, but hey, at least they're paying attention to my boy. And then Superman, ground side attack 3, removed the ability to jump or dodge during rapid jab attacks. So now while you're doing your rapid jab, you can't jump or dodge out of it. You're locked into that animation, and you're locked into that choice of deciding to use that attack. I'm not a Superman main. I don't have experience with Superman, a lot of Superman experience, so I'm sure this is definitely going to change some of his combo routes and some of his setups and stuff. Because I feel like a lot of people jumped out of rapid jab because you could jump out of it and, do any number of things. So that's kind of a big nerf, I think. Superman mains, let me know in the comments down below. Is that a big nerf, or you guys still just chilling? You guys just grabbing people, throwing them off stage? Taz, the air down attack, his little corkscrew. Hitbox size increased, but now incurs a repeat move lockout to prevent infinitely trapping enemies. Okay, that's fair. I'm okay with that, because I really only go for this when I'm trying to spike people or when I'm trying to do combos and stuff. I'm not really spamming it, so that's fine. The hitbox size increase is nice, too. I still think they overly nerfed Taz from what he was in the beta. I mean, he needed nerfs, but I'm glad they're showing him some love. Alright, Joker. We are aware of the Joker's strength and are assessing ways to bring him more in line with the current cast of fighters. These balance changes will be introduced in an upcoming patch. Okay, so they know that Joker is running the gambit on people right now. So that's good. They know, they've acknowledged that there's an issue with him in terms of balancing, and they're going to work on it. So that's good. We always like acknowledgement, and I like when they say, hey, we know about this, we hear you, we're working on it. Communication is good. Alright, air side special. On whiff branch window, delayed 5 frames. Okay, so if you whiff, delayed 5 frames, a little bit slower. Okay. A little bit of a nerf. I definitely do agree with him. He needs more done to him to bring him in line with the current cast of fighters, but overall, it's a good place to start. Tom and Jerry got some nerfs. Ground side attack 2 hit stun reduced slightly, and ground side attack 3 hit stun reduced slightly. So now there's just less hit stun for his ground side attack combo for his 2 and 3, the second and third hit of his jab string. So if you're using that to do some weird setups Tom and Jerry's a weird character, okay? But if you're using some setups or something that required the side attack 2 and 3, just know that the hit stun is reduced slightly. When it says slightly, I kind of wish we could get numbers or a metric for it, because slightly could mean a lot, depending on how you look at it. Slightly could mean some combos don't work, or could mean that everything is fine, but in certain situations it's a little weird. But, yeah. Okay, this is attack 2 and 3. Hits unreduced slightly. Now we got Velma. Velma got some buffs. We are aware of some early feel issues with Velma following the initial launch. These are the start of some plane adjustments we have for her, and we will have more to share in the coming weeks. Okay, so they're working on her too, but this is the start of it. So ground side attack, more reliably combos from attack 2 to 3. That's good, because nothing hurts more than landing your jab string and then they just whiff. Or they don't connect, they don't combo. So that's good. It should definitely make her feel a lot better. Like they said, I like how they're acknowledging the feel issues, because I'm more of a feeling player. The muscle memory. So I'm glad that they're doing some adjustments to make her feel a lot better to play. Because if they feel a lot better to play, they're going to be more fun to play, and people are going to enjoy the game more. So that's good. Then we have the air ground neutral attack. Hitbox now better recovers Velma's arm and head. Or now better covers, not recovers. I can't read. Reading's hard. Removed automatic targeting an ally. Ooh, okay. Okay. Interesting. So now you'll have to manually target or target them better. But honestly, I don't have a lot of experience with Velma either. There's a couple characters where I just don't, like, I don't see them a lot online, and I don't want to learn them, so I don't know too much about them. But it's a change, not a nerf, so we'll see. We'll see how that plays. I'll have to go into the lab and test her out a little bit. The air up attack, increased movement control. The air down attack, increased movement control. So both her air up and down have better movement control. So once again, going back to the early feel issues they feel that she has, this should help her feel a lot better to play. The air ground down special, cooldown reduced to 80 seconds from 120. So that cuts off 40 seconds from her cooldown. So that's big ups. That's a pretty big buff. We'll see. We'll see how that plays. I don't know. I don't think that's too bad, but it definitely seems like a lot. Because 4, 8, 12, they pretty much reduced it by a third. They cut it down by 33%. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't think it's too bad, but I'm also not a pro with Velma. Maybe there is a pro that can abuse that and it makes it a little too strong, but we'll see. And then the air side special, increased movement control. So once again, just should make her feel a lot better to play. All right, and then we have the final character with changes this patch, Wonder Woman. We are aware of Wonder Woman's strength and are assessing ways to bring her more in line with the current cast of fighters. These balance changes will be introduced into an upcoming patch. Once again, so it seems like there's a big balance patch upcoming, because there's been a couple characters where they're just addressing their strength or their weakness in an additional patch. So I think probably within the next week or two, we're probably going to see a big patch. But hey, we'll see. Fingers crossed. But her passive got a nerf. The bracer meter now resets when Wonder Woman is wrung out. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. If you get wrung out, your meters should reset. So should your cooldowns. So should your cooldowns. But yeah. Okay. So that's going to be patch 1.02. Pretty good patch. I actually like a lot of these changes. I'm not going to lie. I'm glad Gizmo got nerfed because he was running just the amount of Gizmos I've ran into. Iron Giant is back in the game. Pretty nerfed, but hey, it should prevent him from doing infinites and make him feel a lot better to fight against, which is always good. Jason got buffed. A lot of bug fixes. Yeah, this patch is looking pretty good. But yeah, that's going to be patch 1.02. Let me know down in the comments below if your character got changed, what changes you liked, what changes you didn't like, what changes are you hoping for the future. And yeah, I'm Zulielix, and I'll see you in the next video.